Everyone, I am at a coffee shop this morning, thankfully. It's been very nice to be able to sit into a coffee shop now as the restrictions begin to lift. And I know all over the world people are finding similar things while still questioning when we get to fly again, when we get to travel, when we get to step out even further, and what comes next. But I hope that most of you are finding ways to stay present. I certainly am trying to do the same. It's not always easy every day to stay present. We are very future thinking. And so for those of you who are struggling, know that your grief is heard and just stick with today and we'll get through it. In the meantime, subscribe to this YouTube channel and you will get notifications every time I post something new up, including BEARTH podcast, which is been rolling out. We're on episode 15 and I'm really excited to share these ideas with you as the earth so the body. But I wanted to take just a couple of minutes this morning to address something that keeps coming up in almost every conversation I'm having with friends across the globe, and that is body shame, or as I'm rightfully calling it, BS. Now, when most people think of the ideas of body shame and conversations around that, they think about the women's movement, which is attempting to change the conversation around, say, plus-size models, being too thin or too overweight. This is typically the conversation around things like body shame and, coming back into our confidence and so forth. And it's a beautiful conversation. It's a worthy conversation. But I think that it has to go deeper than that, and I think we need to expand it. Because BS is at the root of things like anti-LGBT movements. It's at the root of racism. It's at the root of sexism. And essentially, body shame is the shame, the discrimination, the harm, the violence put on another person because of the way that they look, whether it be their skin color, their size, their eye color, their hair color, their sexual orientation. It's about targeting the body and shaming the body. And so it's an issue that we deeply need to address on a massive level to understand not only our connection to ourselves, our relationship to ourselves, our relationship with our body. What is our relationship with our body? What is the relationship with mine? What are my insecurities? What are yours? When you look in the mirror, what do you see? And when you look at somebody else, what do you see? And if you're critical of that person, is it because you have that same critique of yourself, or is it because of a societal belief that you have adapted that makes you judge that person? What is your relationship to other people's bodies? And that's not necessarily sexual. It can be if you're in a partnership or in an intimate and erotic connection, but it can also just be your relationship within your society. And I think that it's really important that we begin to address this issue in all of our social justice work, and our racial justice, and our ecological justice, in our sexual orientation, justice for LGBTQ, for the earth, because it's all connected. I'm going to continue to unpack all of that through conversations I have on the podcast, through little moments like these that I put up on YouTube. But I want to just kind of introduce this idea and throw this out there that BS is a much bigger issue than what we've made it to be, and we can't isolate it anymore. So, something to think about. I'm planting a few seeds. We're going to keep going with conversations like this, and for now, may you live and move and have your own being, own your own being, possess your own being today. We'll talk soon. Cheers.